We're talking spoilers for Invincible Season 2, Part 2, Episode 6, full spoilers ahead. First off, what an incredible episode with so much layers, so much exciting moments, some badass moments. Let's break it down, starting off with the Guardians in space, them working together as a team. We see Shapesmith gaining their trust, and I think he became an official Guardians when he saved Rudy, and we saw him saving Eve with him becoming a shield. A great moment for that character. They ultimately do take the hive mind down. As they're leaving, we see the Martians saying, hey, y'all can leave, but you can't take Shapesmith with you. And as they say, no man left behind. Again, they're working together. They escape the ship. We see Mark doing his best Captain Marvel impression as he's destroying the ships. And then we see Eve hugging him, congratulating him. And that sets the stage for some interesting love triangle that we haven't gotten since season 1. But again, that opening was so fantastic with the Guardians. Seeing them come together, Shapesmith holding his own. And it was just a great way to start. But then we have what's going on with Rex, which was nothing short of incredible. The redemption arc with Rex is on full effect as we see douchebag turn badass. The Lizard King shoots him in the head, but with his durability skills as being a hero, that bullet in the head does not kill him, and we see Rex telling him just to shut the hell up as he proceeds to grab him with the good hand, and then he punches the Lizard King with the bone of his hand that was eaten off. He throws him on the ground, starts stomping him, and as the guards come in, I love the line when he tells them, oh, I've never been better. I'm practically. Again, that opening to me was fantastic. It's one of my favorite of this show. Seeing the Guardians working together and seeing Rex fend for himself was nothing short of incredible. Meanwhile, on Earth, we see Debbie is looking for her Miss Doubtfire as she's looking for a babysitter for Oliver. She inevitably finds one. I believe her name was April. I don't know if we can trust Cecil and this new April girl. I think that they're just trying to gain back Debbie's trust. That they're going to just take the opportunity to take Oliver, train him, make him be a contingency plan for if there's any threats on Earth. More importantly, if Nolan and the Viltrumites return. Now, there was a lot of complex relationships in this episode as we have Amber, Mark, and Eve all discussing their problems with each other. It's going to be a situation at hand where either Amber or Mark's going to break things off, and we're going to see inevitably Mark and Eve get together. But I like all that relationship stuff that we got in this episode, which, speaking of complex relationships, we see that Rex is turning a new leaf. He acknowledges how much of a douchebag he was in previous relationships, but also we got the return of William, who's now, I believe, the same cyborg as Donald. As we see Donald in this episode says, that type of trauma can only come up. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with these cyborgs. Will we see Donald inevitably snap? Now, a key moment in this episode is seeing Mark getting his father's books from Art and him getting the information about the Space Rider and his gun, which can actually shoot through anything, and the blast from that gun can actually hurt Viltrumites. We also hear about the planet that has the Ragnars, which are very powerful creatures, so Mark is putting it together that these are hints of how to actually hurt the Viltrumites. As we wrap up the episode with Alan getting into a little bit of a scuffle with Immortal, who's dealing with the mourning of losing Kate, which is a great moment for that character throughout this episode. As Mark and Alan catch up with each other, as Mark tells him what happens to his father, but also he notices that Alan has gotten a lot bigger since he last saw him. Alan inevitably lets Mark know why he's on Earth, and that is to invite him to space so they can come up with the plans to defeat the Viltrumites. And Mark lets him know, bro, I'm not going back to space. I just got back. I gotta figure things out with my girlfriend. I got my little brother Oliver to take care of. And Alan's like, that sucks that you're not coming with me. But Mark doesn't leave him empty-handed as he gives him the information about the books so they can help to defeat the Viltrumites. Which, speaking of Nolan's books, we see that he's in a prison cell held by the Viltrumites. He won't talk to his general and he's holding things in, but I can't wait to see Nolan get his redemption arc. We have our post-credit scene showing us the return of Angtrums, who's getting a brand new suit because he's meeting an old friend. I love the Easter egg of him walking through the multiverses, and we see one of the multiverses is Robert Kirkman's own creation of the universe, Walking Dead. As he arrives and says it's so good to be home. Now the question is, he says he's happy to be home. I thought that his home was destroyed back in part 1, so who is here? Who is this old friend? Is it a Mark of another universe that he's going to bring with him to destroy our Mark? Is it someone else entirely? Either way, I thought this episode was so layered, it was so detailed, it was thrilling. While all the action happened in the first 10 minutes, the aftermath of seeing these relationships and these characters dealing with loss, new relationships beginning, setting the stage for so many great things to come. This episode, from top to bottom, was just perfect in my eyes. The pacing was so great, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Let me know your thoughts, your Easter eggs, your deeper meanings that you all took away from this episode in the comments below.